Hello everyone, welcome to Yura's Corner on the SWI channel. You can tell I'm very excited today. Yes, that is because we are starting a new series on breastfeeding. As a self-acclaimed breastfeeding advocate that I am very excited to take you on a journey that would make you to decide to not only exclusively breastfeed your baby, but also decide to take the journey in a way that you would find exciting, in a way that will cause you to decide to even inspire more women to make the same decision as you. Now, for today's video, we are going to be looking at the benefits of exclusive breastfeeding and breastfeeding in general. And I know that that's something you would like to find out. You want to know, what is the fuss all about? Why are they always sounding breastfeeding this into my ears? I'm going to be telling you the reason why today. And if you want to find out what those reasons are, please stick around. So, exclusive breastfeeding simply means providing breast milk for a newborn baby without introducing water, any semi-solid or other solids for the first 6 months of their life. What this means is that breast milk is the only thing that your baby consumes for 6 whole months, and after 6 months you are allowed to introduce what is called complementary feeding. And what that means is you breastfeeding and at the same time introducing semi-solids to the baby and taking them on a journey of exploring foods until they turn 2, and then you wean them from the breast milk. That is exclusive breastfeeding and the breastfeeding journey in a nutshell. So what are the benefits of exclusively breastfeeding your baby, and why should you decide to do same? Number 1 is nutritional superiority, what I will call the ideal balanced diet. Wherever you find yourself in the world, you will be told by any nutritionist, by any pediatrician, by any gynecologist, obstetrician, or any practicing medical practitioner that the best food for your newborn baby is your breast milk. Breast milk is like what they call it liquid gold. Is that food that your baby needs to nourish his or her body, containing all the required nutrients in the right proportion. So you're not bothered as to is there enough carbohydrate, enough protein. It's a balanced diet on its own. And to top it all up, it also has water. It contains enough water to be able to nourish your baby's body. So it's a magical thing that God did to ensure that the body of the mother is able to nourish the baby, for a certain time of their life until when, it becomes safe and fair enough to introduce other foods, in their life. Number 2, and the second reason why you should decide to exclusively breastfeed, is the immune system support that your baby gets. The breast milk contains antibodies, that are transferred from the mother to the child. And this milk is being gotten directly from the source. There is no preservative, there is no shelf life, there is nothing that has been added or removed. And so antibodies are easily transferred from the mother to the child, and this helps to boost the baby's immune system. And I can actually attest to that to a very large extent, just like other mothers, that when you exclusively breastfeed your child, you are very sure that your baby is getting some level of protection generally. So it's very important to exclusively breastfeed your child. It has also been discovered that children who are exclusively breastfed are at a lower risk of getting certain diseases such as asthma, type 1 diabetes, obesity, gastrointestinal sicknesses, and so many others. This is not just as a result of the antibodies, but also as a result of not being exposed to, should I say, the bacteria or germs that actually cause these sicknesses and diseases. So one way to ensure that your baby is well protected in the early stages of their life is by choosing to breastfeed them. The third point and the third reason why you should exclusively breastfeed your baby is for the reason of digestibility. Breast milk is very easy for the baby system to digest. Newborns have delicate digestive system, and when you introduce artificial food to them too early, their systems are not ready to start digesting complex foods and all that, and this leads to them developing certain allergies, reactions, and so many things that some mothers get to experience. But breast milk is very easily digestible by the baby's digestive system, and there are no issues and complications at all. And so there is that advantage when you choose to exclusively breastfeed, as against when some mothers have to struggle with things like constipation. There are some babies that react to different, before you would even discover the formula that works very well. Sometimes babies have issues with their babies not stooling, or the stools being either too hard or too soft. Most times mothers that are exclusively breastfeeding don't deal with these challenges because breast milk is very easily digestible. The fourth point we'll be looking at as an advantage of exclusive breastfeeding today is that breastfeeding can aid weight loss. This is very interesting. I mean, in Africa and Nigeria here, you would think it's the opposite, because most times people shy away from exclusive breastfeeding because they think that mothers add so much weight because of breastfeeding, but that is actually not the case. The fifth point we will be looking at is promotion of cognitive development. I know that this is still under some sort of argument in some quarters, but research has shown that babies that are exclusively breastfed, have a better developed brains for cognitive skills, and we all know what cognitive skills entails, right? So if you're looking at a baby having that advantage in life, you should decide to exclusively breastfeed your next baby. Now, there is a very special ingredient per se, a very special ingredient that is found in breast milk called DHA. Yes, I think that's what it's called. I'll put the full name on the screen. So DHA is an omega-3 enzyme that facilitates cognitive development in babies, and this is a nutrient that is found in breast milk naturally. Yes, there is an argument that there are some other baby formulas that are fortified with that, but you and I know when something natural is standing with artificial, natural will always win. So if you want your baby to directly receive the DHA in the breast milk, and then help to hone their cognitive skills in life, then you should decide to exclusively breastfeed them, and you will not regret it. The sixth point we'll be looking at is cost effectiveness and convenience. Oh my god, I can talk about this for days. Do you know how much baby formula is right now? With the economic meltdown and everything that is happening, hyperinflation all over the world, and if you're having a baby in this time, it would be highly recommended that you go for the option of exclusively breastfeeding your baby. What this means is that for the next 6 months of your baby's life, you will not be spending a dime on buying formula, milk, or any other thing at all that your baby has to consume, because your body is well equipped to produce all that your baby would need for these first 6 months. And I always say the daddies should be able to pack all those monies they were supposed to use in buying the milk and give you a befitting push present, because you are going to be saving a whole lot of money. I mean, you can just try it out, do the math, go to the next supermarket, look at the price of baby formula and how many things of baby formula will be consumed by your newborn in a month, and multiply it. You would get a figure that will be very alarming, I am sure of it. Another important and interesting thing about exclusive breastfeeding is the convenience. You don't have to worry about, you want to carry hot water because you're going out, or you need to sterilize bottles. You are not bothered about all those when you are exclusively breastfeeding. Why? Because the industry is always with you. So all you have to do is you go out with your baby, wherever your baby is hungry, you pull out the breast and breastfeed, right? And you don't have to worry about so much. So it's very convenient, it's very, very cost effective. Tell me why you will not decide to exclusively breastfeed your baby. Are you not still convinced? Okay, if you have watched to this point and you have not yet subscribed to this channel, why have you not subscribed? please click on the subscription button and the bell button so that you'll be notified when we post the next video in this series or other interesting videos on this channel. Let's move immediately to the seventh point I will be speaking on today, and that is building bond and emotional connection. This is so important. I mean, this is amazing. Mothers can testify to this, that that whole breastfeeding experience. Breastfeeding helps you to spend more time with your baby, and you build this bond and connection. It's also been, said that breastfeeding helps to foster, that feeling of warmth, comfort, and safety for your baby. And when you're breastfeeding, you look into your baby's eyes, the baby's looking into your eyes. You know what happens when two people start looking into each other's eyes. I mean, that's what brought you and baby daddy together. And now you have a newborn. So it gives your baby the opportunity to experience you, to fall in love with you. You'll be connected to your baby, I mean, it's such an amazing experience. I'm gushing about it because I'm almost wishing I want to start breastfeeding again right now. So it's a good thing. Breastfeeding helps to create bonding and emotional connection between the baby and the mother. So the 8th point we'll be looking at are the postpartum health benefits to the mother. Yes, there are actually postpartum health benefits to a mother that is exclusively breastfeeding her baby. When the baby is sucking on the breast, it helps the womb to begin to contract back to the original size. So exclusive breastfeeding is actually a way to ensure that your tummy goes back to its original size. I am actually saying this from experience, and it's been a proven fact that when a mother is breastfeeding, what happens is that the womb begins to contract, and then, returning to the original shape when you are breastfeeding. And it's also been discovered that exclusive breastfeeding helps with the mood of the mother, and, the cases or instances of postpartum depression are highly reduced for exclusively breastfeeding mothers. Number 9 point we'll be looking at is the benefits of exclusive breastfeeding being a natural means of contraception. Yes, I'm sure you find that fascinating, right? It's true. It's really true. The hormone that helps a woman to lactate is called prolactin, just like the name goes. And this prolactin, for it to be produced, in a woman's body, the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone have to be inhibited. The follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone are the hormones, that bring about ovulation and also bring about menstruation. So when the prolactin level is high in a woman, the tendency for her to ovulate and also to menstruate is very low. So what happens is that when a woman is exclusively breastfeeding, this prolactin is very high, and therefore, like I've already explained, suppressing the luteinizing and follicle stimulating hormone, and you will most likely not be ovulating or menstruating, and you will not stand a chance of getting pregnant. A lot of us have used it as a means of contraception, and it worked even beyond the 6 months period. So yes, one way to do natural contraception is by choosing to exclusively breastfeed your baby. And finally, the 10th point we'll be looking at today is breastfeeding reduces the risk of diseases. Mothers that choose to exclusively breastfeed their babies have been discovered to be at a lower risk for certain diseases such as high blood pressure, arthritis, high blood fat, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. It has also been said, to reduce the chances of having cervical cancer, breast cancer, and the rest of them. You can do your research on this, but these, are almost like proven facts right now about the benefits of exclusive breastfeeding. And I hope that with these few points of mine, I have been able to convince you and not confuse you and make you choose to exclusively breastfeed your baby. If you found the video interesting, please subscribe. Let me know in the comment section, will you be deciding to breastfeed your baby exclusively, or you're still thinking about it? In the next video, I will be sharing on the different challenges that mothers can encounter on their breastfeeding journey, and I will also provide ways and solutions on how to navigate those times in your life. So until I come again next time, see you and bye bye.